Everything you need to know in a nutshell about Pennsylvania inheritance tax. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Conti of Conti Law. We are a boutique estate planning and administration law firm here in Pennsylvania. In addition, I'm a tax attorney by trade. And when I'm advising my clients, we try to help them minimize tax as much as we can. But the best way to understand Pennsylvania inheritance tax is to know there is inheritance tax on everything except life insurance. When a person dies and they resided in Pennsylvania, if they have assets, whether it's real estate, investments, checking, savings, stocks, bonds, everything except life insurance is taxable, even an IRA. Now, there is an exception. If that person owns real estate that's located outside of the Commonwealth, there is no inheritance tax on that parcel. However, the tax is based on your relationship as the beneficiary to the decedent. So if a charity inherits or a spouse inherits, the tax rate is 0. If a child or grandchild inherits, the tax rate is 4.5%. If a sibling inherits, it's 12%, and anybody else inherits, it's 15%. Now, keep in mind there are exceptions concerning minors, and if a minor passes away and parents inherit, but the overall understanding is there's inheritance tax on everything except life insurance, except real estate owned outside of Pennsylvania, and that tax rate is based on your relationship to the decedent. It doesn't matter where you live. It matters where that person resided upon their death. So if they've lived here, I had a client ask the other day, made the comment that the decedent did reside in Pennsylvania upon death, had lived here for 2 years, however, had resided in an outside state for the last 70 years. Does that matter? The answer is no. Excuse me. I'm also asked, does it matter where the beneficiary lives? If the beneficiary lives in Florida, Florida doesn't have inheritance tax. Doesn't matter. It's based on where the decedent died. And if they were a resident of Pennsylvania, there is inheritance tax. And keep in mind, that's what's called a self-reporting tax. No one is going to give you paperwork and say, here, fill out this form, unless you're working with an attorney, obviously. But if you inherit a joint bank account, if you inherit an IRA that you were a named beneficiary, it's a self-reporting tax in the sense that you have to report it if the estate is not reporting it on your behalf.